This could be the single greatest chapter of the year. It starts with Rayleigh running away with Shaki, while even Shiki and other pirates try to protect them in order to not harm Shaki. During this time, Xebec was fighting against Garling. We also saw other pirates fighting each other, but what caught my attention is this panel. We see a pirate who looks exactly like Marco kicking Silverax. Marco was only 7 years old when the God Valley incident happened, so it's not him. We also know that Silverax is pretty strong for someone to be kicked so easily, which means this Marco lookalike is strong himself as well. We see other Roger pirates around him, so it's possible that Marco's father was a member of the Roger pirates. Maybe that's why Shanks wanted Marco to join him. He knew Marco's father, probably had a good relationship with him, and knew how strong he was, so he wanted his son in his crew. I don't think Oda would just draw a random character kicking Silverax, but I also don't think Oda will pay a lot of attention to him in this arc. Most likely this question will be answered in a future SBS. Then we saw the panel of Kuma and Ivankov eating devil fruits while Big Mom appeared. We've already seen these scenes in Kuma's flashback, but what's different is the fact that Kaido stole the dragon fruit from Big Mom. Till now, it was known that Big Mom gave this fruit to Kaido herself, and he was in her debt because of this. So I wonder why Oda chose to change this storyline. Oda also revealed that Big Mom was going to give this powerful fruit to Katakuri. The Straw Hats should be thankful to Kaido that he stole this fruit, because I'm not sure if Luffy would have been able to defeat Katakuri at Whole Cake Island if he had Kaido's overpowered Uo Uo no Mi. Then we see a shocked and angry Garp who called Sengoku. We learn Garp truly didn't know about this genocidal situation going on this island, but on the other hand, if he didn't like what he saw on this island, then why remain a marine for the next 40 years? I also don't understand why Oda doesn't show us Sengoku's power. He is said to be one of the most legendary marines, and the only time we saw him in action was at Marineford when he transformed into his Buddha form and used just one attack against the Blackbeard pirates. Why wasn't he at God Valley? Or why was he so chill about all these events? He also mentioned that there was a man who asked some questions and then disappeared from the Navy. The reason Oda revealed this fact means it's something important. I also don't think this man was a random marine. What if he's the man marked by flames? Shiryu said the exact same thing. Of course, he has no proof of this claim, but he mentioned that the man marked by flames could work for the world government, or at least he could be a previous member. For now, we don't know anything about this person. He's probably the most mysterious character in One Piece right now, and it's also clear that he'll be very important in the future, as he owns the last road poneglyph. What if Imu also tried to erase this person, but he survived somehow? One of the best hints for this idea is Saturn's death in chapter 1125. Imu cut off his power and life force, and only a skeleton was left of Saturn. Saturn was quickly replaced by Garling, despite having served Imu for more than 200 years, possibly even 800. My idea is that this person was a former admiral, holy knight, or even a Gorosei. He started questioning the actions of Imu and the world government, and the same way Imu killed Saturn for not accomplishing his mission, Imu tried to kill this person, but somehow, maybe with the help of his devil fruit or through some different means, he survived and got a massive burn scar. We only know that the man with the burn scar can somehow create whirlpools, and it's nearly impossible to reach his ship. And a strong crew like the Blackbeard pirates couldn't catch him for at least 1 year. I think Oda is giving us small hints about this character before fully revealing him. Then the scene switches to Xebec, and we see Garling and the demon form of the DVD clan chasing him and his family. Garling mentions that the wound Xebec gave him will take a while to heal. Most likely, Xebec had the same technique that Gaban showed us in Elbaf. The fight was off-screen, but we saw that in a few minutes, Rox managed to defeat Garling, the current Gorosei who was probably in his prime at God Valley, and he also defeated the DVD clan members, including his father and grandmother. Rox wanted to be king of the world, and because of his family, he abandoned this goal, defeated his demonized family members, asked his crew to abandon him, and in the end probably died, but achieved his goal and saved at least Blackbeard. We don't know if Eris is dead or alive in the current story. I never imagined before the flashback that Xebec would be a character like this. He also casually cut the island in half without any haki, just simple swordsmanship. No wonder he destroyed the Gate of Justice. Xebec's power is insane. On the other hand, Garling might have the single most disappointing feat in the history of One Piece, alongside Eustace Kid. Xebec wasn't even tired after defeating Garling, the champion of God Valley. Before the ending panel, I want to talk about one interesting plot hole. In this chapter, we see that the Roger pirates found a lot of treasure, and there were some devil fruits as well. Interestingly, none of them ate a devil fruit as the Roger pirates were non-devil fruit users. Maybe it was Roger's law on the ship for currently unknown reasons, but at least they knew that devil fruits existed. Years later, however, when Buggy found his Bari Bari no Mi, everyone on Roger's ship said that they thought it was a myth and they were not sure if devil fruits actually existed, which is very strange if we look at this moment right now. The ending is not only epic, but also very heartwarming. Xebec tells Whitebeard and Kaido that neither of them gains any benefit from fighting by his side, yet they're both staying by his side anyway, and the atmosphere of all of them laughing is easily one of the greatest panels in past years. In the end, we see that Saturn has merged with Emu, a way different controlling ability than in Gunko's case. Oda got Emu looking like the Vera Squid Kaiju, an alien from space that came to Earth to conquer it. This kaiju was created in 1968 by the Japanese in a movie called Viras vs. Gamera. Maybe Oda took inspiration from it for Emu's design. But despite the ending, I don't think Saturn will be the final villain of this arc. For this, I have a long theory that'll be uploaded on the channel in a few days, so don't forget to hit subscribe to not miss that video. Before that, I want to share an interesting theory by Worst Gen that I found on Twitter. The first thing he talks about is the name Eris on Emu's magic circle in Elbaf. It's strange that at that very moment, a character named Eris is revealed to be Xebec's wife. The family, which was able to hide from Emu for 800 years, is suddenly discovered by Garling after Xebec sends his wife to God Valley. We know Garling was probably sent there on a mission by Emu. In this chapter, Eris is mentioned as a pirate who proudly and bravely says how happy she is that the Davy family has recognized and accepted her, that even Xebec's parents accepted her. After that, the God Valley event happens where all Davy members except Eris and Teach are found and transformed. My first question: when and where is this supposed to have happened? Who is supposed to have done this? How could Eris survive so long without being caught and saved by Xebec of all people? What's really puzzling me is that Emu only recently appeared on God Valley, and only recently do Garp and Roger notice his haki. Does this mean that Emu didn't appear here before with his body or with Gunko? Which raises the question, who transformed the Davy family? It must have been Emu somehow, but he only appeared in Saturn form and Gunko wasn't taken over either. Otherwise, Roger and Garp would notice her haki. So who transformed the Davy family? The next scene is also straightforward. Eris swears that she'll meet Xebec in the Leloucha kingdom so that he can fight against his Davy family and Garling. Of all the countries, why Leloucha? The same country where Emu just randomly used the Mother Flame. Even the Gorosei wondered why Emu chose this country. Xebec then defeats Garling and the Davy family, and Emu contacts Saturn to ask if Xebec is dead. Doesn't he see how Garling and the others were defeated? And then he fuses with Saturn because Saturn is afraid of something problematic, and the form is different from the Gunko one. While with Gunko, he simply takes over her body, but when he fuses with Saturn, it seems as if his true form takes over. Why didn't he do the same with Gunko? In short, Eris' name is on Emu's magic circle. Shortly after Eris visits God Valley, it's found by Garling. Strange that he was sent there by Emu. Davy's family, except for Eris, are all transformed into demons, but by whom? Neither Saturn nor Gunko were taken over. Eris flees to Leloucha, which is later deliberately destroyed by Emu. Saturn fuses with Emu, this form being different from the Gunko version in Elbaf. Don't you think there are far too many coincidences? What kind of crazy mastermind plan would it be if Eris was Emu from the beginning, who not only sought him out to find the Davy family, but also created an Antichrist child, Teach, which would help her to be completely free of the Holy Land if the sealing theory is true? Also, why isn't anything being done about Teach? Probably because he's Eris aka Emu's child from the beginning, who will later be used to completely free Emu. One theory as to why Emu was able to fuse with Saturn and not Gunko: Eris aka Emu was on God Valley so she could connect directly with Saturn, which wasn't the case with Gunko because she was in Elbaf while Emu was in God Valley. This sounds crazy, but that would be a really crazy Aizen move by Emu if she had been Eris from the beginning, who perfectly outplayed Xebec. That would also be a reason why Xebec would completely freak out and go on a rampage, because his child is in the hands of his enemies and the woman he loves was his enemy from the start. This theory is definitely far-fetched, but for me it's a very interesting possibility, and you never know what'll happen when we're talking about Oda. After all, we have not seen Emu and Eris together. Also, it's possible that Eris was a traitor, not Emu herself, himself, but someone working for Emu. Maybe that's how Teach has betrayal in his genes. That's it for today. Write what you think about this chapter down in the comments. If you want to know more about Davy D Clan hidden members, you can click this video right here. Thanks for watching. Bye.